All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing this word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom I came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. All right. And what I want to go into today, is how this world, is not made for us. All right. This age, this current age, all right, of the rulership of Esau, Edom, all right, which, the part of the good news is we understand with the very end of this man's age. Okay. Esau was given, a period in history to rule, and we was given the signs, to signify the end of this man's rulership. And that's our hope and our faith. And that all comes through Yahweh Shai. Okay? And what we have to understand, this current age, is ran by Edomite males, okay, is completely contradicts who we are as Israelites, man. Okay? Israelite man and woman, but especially the Israelite man, this age ain't for us, man. Nothing about it. Everything about this setup, as we sit back, and as we're becoming more like Yahweh Shai and, deal in our day to day, and it just, hey, we don't fit, man. This is why it's easy to become dead to this world as we become alive in Yahweh Shai, because the two conflict. Okay? Only true peace that we get, as Israelites that believe is in Yahweh Shai, man. That's why when you read the book of St. John, well, this is a prayer, okay? Yahweh Shai is praying to the Father. This is the book of St. John, chapter 17, and verse 13. It says, "And now I am coming to you. I have told them many things while I was with them, so that they would be filled, all right, with my joy." Okay? And Yahweh Shai was constantly breaking down the scriptures, to the disciples, which later would become apostles. And as we, have the breakdowns and the understanding of the scriptures, the spirit of Yahweh Shai is dwelling, amongst his men, and expounding on, all right, the Bible, the explanations and the breakdowns of the Bible. And that's why joy resides, man. The only true joy we have is what's to come. Especially Israelite men, because this world is anti Yahweh Shai, and as we're becoming Yahweh Shai, it's anti us, man. As we're becoming likened unto Yahweh Shai. Just to clarify that, we're becoming likened unto Yahweh Shai. So, all right, so this world by default is anti us, man. Everything about it. Okay? The way people deal, the type of people, this world, all right, what this world calls prosperity, what this world, all right, how this world looks at marriage, how this world does, money, okay? It's completely contrary to who we are, okay? And this is why our joy comes from this place being destroyed and the righteous kingdom being established. But we have this understanding through the Holy Spirit, which was sent down, all right, as a gift, through Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, okay, for his men at these times. So we will have this as our only joy. Because, this is our only joy to hold on to. This is the only joy worth holding on to. This is the only joy. Everything else, it comes with, the the side effects of Babylon. Everything outside of Yahweh Shai comes with some type of side effects of Babylon, man. Okay? But everything within here, man, it provokes, true joy. To where you get excited. It's a feeling, that can't be taken away if it's in us, man. Okay? So, reading on, and it says, I have given them your commands. I have given them your commands, and the world hates them because they don't fit in with it, just as I don't. I'm not asking you to take them out of the world, but to keep them from Satan's power, man. And Yahweh Shai says, he knows that we don't fit in. See, Yahweh Shai is praying this prayer because he know we will be at this moment, at this time, man. As we're being conformed, and transformed unto him. Okay, likened unto him, that hey, it will be a vexation. So Yahweh Shai prayed for us, man. All right, to endure. As we have to, stay in the world until we're delivered. That's part of, us being perfected. Is becoming like Yahweh Shai in a wicked society, man. And that suffering that it creates is us being perfected, man. Okay, becoming that finished product. Okay, well, brothers, if the last thing that we should be trying to do is fit into this world that's dying, man. Okay, we're being cultivated for life. We're being molded, all right, for life, man. The last thing that we should try to do is fit into a dying world, man, a dying society, man. Okay, that was only created to be temporal. Okay, so reading again, this is back in St. John 7:14, and this is the Living Bible, paraphrase the translation I'm reading from, and it says, "I have given them your commandments, and the world hates them because they don't fit in with it, just as I don't." So just as Yahweh Shai didn't fit in, during pagan Rome, and now we in new pagan Rome, the new pagan Roman Empire, man, America, NATO, EU, man. Okay, it went from Hellenization to Westernization with just the same thing. All right, just with more technology now. Okay, and we don't fit in. All right, point blank, period, man. We do not fit in. This age ain't for us, man. Something I was just meditating on as I was walking. This age ain't for us, man. How people interacting, you know, nothing about it. It's very few people, that we really can even, deal with outside the truth, man, that we can even tolerate, man. And that list is getting shorter and shorter. Okay? Because hey, we get into that time, hey, for the baby to be born. Okay? So reading on, it says, I am not asking you to take them out of the world, but to keep them safe from Satan's power, man. These enchantments, man. To be shielded, from the enchantments of the devil, man. This all this devil is about. Everything is a psyops and an enchantment in this world too, man. On every level. The common person that you can come into, man, they got some type of craftiness and deception about them. Some type of manipulation, man. So on the highest level, from the elites, all right, to the lowest level, to people that, we have to, we interact with at times, there's some type of manipulation that's always at play, man. And Yahweh Shai prayed to the Father that we will be protected from the power of Satan, man. And that's why there's a heavy spirit to separate, man. As you can see, everybody's bugging out, man. Those that know that they're Israelites and those that are without, okay, they're bugging out. Okay, certain Israelites, they're not being protected from Satan's power. And we're seeing who the prayers, cover. Lord will, those prayers keep covering us until the end. Because we know, and we have to understand, we're covered by that prayer of Yahweh Shai. In St. John 17, that's covering the hopeful elect. And we should show appreciation for their prayer to be more tapped into this, man. Okay? To be more occupied in this. Okay? So, going back, all right, this is the book of St. John 17 and 18. Oh, 17. No, 16. It's like it said, they are not part of this world any more than I am. Make them pure and holy through teaching them your words of truth. As you sent me into the world, I am sending them into the world, and I consecrate myself to meet their need for growth in truth and holiness, man. So the Lord separated himself for the disciples in that time so they could grow. All right. And now the spirit of Yahweh Shai, has isolated the hopeful elect in this time for us to grow, man. And we're outgrowing this place, man. The baby can only stay in the womb for so long. The womb isn't able to support, all right, the child after a certain point. Okay? And this is what we're going through as we're growing in Yahweh Shai. This earth ain't built for us, man. Okay? This society not built to endure us as we're growing into Yahushua, man. So the Lord gonna intervene. He's getting ready to intervene. Okay? Even when you go here to St. John 15, all right, and I started at verse 21, and it says, matter of fact, I started at 20. It says, do you remember, St. John 15:20? It says, do you remember what I told you? A slave isn't greater than his master. So since they persecuted me, naturally they will persecute you. And if they have listened to me, they would listen to you. So the people that persecuted, our people that persecuted Yahushua, that was against Yahushua, when he walked the earth, they're back and they're against the spirit of Yahushua, which is on his men. And see, we get the hatred that Yahushua got. We taking on that hatred from our people, man. All right, from this world, from this age. Okay, that's part of that's part of that cup. Okay, so there's no new thing under the sun. All right, and those that followed Yahushua back then, they're back following Yahushua now. Okay, verse 21, it says, the people of the world will persecute you because you belong to me, for they don't know the Most High who sent me. And see, this world is not familiar with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. What they've been taught is God, and Jesus, according to the Bible, the God and the Messiah of the Bible is completely off. It has nothing to do with the reality of the scriptures, man. That's why, they look at us in a particular way, because they're not familiar with Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. Because we're, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai is in us, man. Okay? That's why, the Lord has given his men the discernment to see whether something is of the Most High or not. Okay? And the way, all right, people react to this word going out, this is an indicator that they don't know the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They don't know his son, his true son, Yahushua. Okay? Because this society, gave a fictitious, character with this God and Jesus character of the Bible. Okay? But when you go into, all right, Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, the true doctrine associated with the scriptures, is strange to this world. Okay? So as we come in that spirit of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, it's going to be a conflict, because this world is not familiar with our power, man. They're not familiar with his son, his intent, what he plans on doing, how he gets down. Okay? Let's go here. See what's some more in it. Let's get this in 1 John. We can close it out. It makes super long. Just want to hit a few points. Oh yeah, this is 1 John chapter 4, verse 4. It says, dear young friends, you belong to the Most High and have already won, all right, and have already won your fight, all right, with those who are against Hamashiach, because there is someone in your hearts, okay, which is Yahushua, who is stronger than any evil teacher in this wicked world, man. So Yahushua is an actual force that's in us, man. That driving force, man. The way that we able to do what we're able to do, to understand, the mysteries of the scriptures, to look at things from a spiritual perspective. You can watch a movie, and it relates back, it routes back to the scriptures for edification. Well, that's a spirit that's within us, man. That's Yahushua. All right, that gives us the ability to do these things, man. Okay? So there's a spirit that's in us that's greater than any of the enchantments of the world. Okay? And that's why we want to lean into that spirit that shield us from these enchantments, man. Okay? Verse 5, it says, these men belong to this world. So quite naturally, they are concerned about worldly affairs, and the world pays attention to them. So you have the flip side of those, okay, that are of this world. You see, they fit in. They're comfortable around Crips and real niggas, and they're comfortable around these things, man. Okay, Nation of Islam in the mix now. Okay, Jake is comfortable around these things. And the world reacts to them. The world responds to these guys, man, because they're of this world. They're still of this age. They're fully compatible with this age, man. Okay? we're becoming, compatible with Yahweh Shai and the kingdom that he's getting ready to bring. All right? It says, but we are the children of the Most High. That is why only those who have walked and talked with the Most High will listen to us. Will listen to us. Others won't. That is another way to know whether a message is really from the Most High. For if it is, the world won't listen to it, man. And that's why we're not here for numbers, man. Because we know this message is not going to be well received amongst those of the world, man. We're here for the hopeful elect. Because the hopeful elect are built to receive this word and get it. And we all got, this word, it works on us, man. And we all got certain, things that, really got to get hammered out of us through the word. Okay? It's an ongoing process, man. All right? But their process, if we're the elect, their process, never stops. It's a continuation until Yahweh Shai returns, man. So that was the point. Just wanted to get into that. Something I was, walking and meditating upon earlier. So Lord will you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified to the next time. We say Shah, Kwam Yashala, double honors to the apostles, the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example towards younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful Shalom.